All right, my name is Alex, and today I'm talking about why I'm doing a 30-day Talk to the Camera challenge. So, to understand that, we have to go back a few years, actually a lot of years, to the late 90s. A friend of mine in 1998, I believe, asked me to fill in for a missing instructor at a college that he was teaching at. I, at that point, had no teaching experience whatsoever, but I knew the material. It was Microsoft Front Page 98 and HTML. Those were the two topics that I had to discuss in an 8-hour class. So I was terrified because I was always afraid of public speaking, and I definitely never thought of myself as a teacher or an instructor. And so I was absolutely terrified of this, but I took the assignment because it paid real money and I needed real money. So, and I remember this clearly because it was, I guess, my first experience as a teacher. I got into the classroom and I was nervous, and it was just the first 15 minutes were probably horrible. But after that, I caught my groove and I was able to explain all of the topics that I needed to this class without many issues. Now, obviously, I wasn't perfect. It was my first time, but it got me over a certain hump. It got me over that hump of, the fear of public speaking. It got me to understand that I can be cohesive and I can explain complex subject matter to people in an easy to understand fashion. I'm not too fast, I'm not too slow, I don't use too many filler words. And that is the case for when I teach face to face in front of crowds of people. Now, I've had 17 or 18 years of experience in doing that in my evenings. So typically I would have a work day, my usual 9 to 5. And then in the evenings, I would do these courses at the different colleges in New York, New Jersey, and even here in Nevada. And I gave that up a few years ago. And then COVID hit, and really basically face to face courses are not really the best way to go anymore. So I've transitioned more or less to asynchronous video content. You can find my stuff on platforms like Pluralsight, DomeTrain, and the TCM Security Academy. I'm also working on my own. But the problem there is, of course, there's a lot of friction in recording the videos and having that same confidence and that same way of speaking that I do when I talk to a live audience. Maybe it's the fact that when I'm in front of a live audience, I pace around the room, I look at the whiteboard, I look at the students, I interact with the students. We have more of a rapport that's going on all of the time. But when you're talking to the camera, it's very different. And so I'm working on a course right now where I have to record sections of this course that are not really scripted, that are either showing my screen or me, and I have to explain certain topics. And if I was in front of an audience of 15 people, I could do that easily. But because it's a camera, and not only do I have to record it, but then I have to edit it, I have lots and lots of stumbling blocks. I use filler words, and it takes me a long time to get through that recording and editing process, to the point where it's given me enough pause that I'm wondering if I should do any of this ever again, because it's just so much work for me to get out any amount of content as a video versus doing something live. In fact, I'm running a course now on Friday evening that is a live course, and it's live because I didn't want to sit there and record all of it. It would just take me too long, and by the time I finished recording it, it would be outdated anyway. So that is why I decided to take on the 30-day Talk to the Camera challenge. I think it's a skill, much like the 17 or 18 years that I spent talking to live audiences. I think talking to the camera is the same type of skill. And it's something that I just want to get good at. The other part of that is video editing. I've recently bought or I guess a year ago, bought DaVinci Resolve, the professional edition, and I really enjoy using that. And there are definitely some things there that I can do easily, and some things that I'm still learning and figuring out. I'm definitely nowhere near color grading yet, but it is something that interests me, and it is something that I want to pursue. And unless I record videos that need editing, I really won't ever get a chance to use it. So this is another reason for me doing this. So my goal is to become a very different presenter by the time I get through this challenge. Now, maybe this challenge will only get me like, a smaller portion of the way there, but I'm hoping it'll give me a snowball effect that I can post regular videos on my 4 YouTube channels, which I'll link below. And maybe this will be a new way that I can use to share knowledge and what I know with others rather than attempting to do everything in a face-to-face manner.